A Catoosa County family is pleading for help because their one-year-old son, Jasper, has been taken out of the country.
He's with his grandparents who previously had custody, but now there are warrants out for their arrest. Cornelia Nicholson tells us more in a story you'll only see on 3.
I don't want him to forget me.
Where you going, Jasper?
This video, taken back in December, is the last time Tabitha and Jonathan Spears saw their one-year-old son, Jasper.
It feels like he's been stolen.
3 days after Jasper was born, an anonymous claim led a child protective service worker to their hospital room, questioning the cleanliness of their home and later Tabitha's mental state.
I was going through pretty severe postpartum depression. I had a high-risk pregnancy, and I told them ahead of time I have depression.
The Spears moved in with Tabitha's father, Tim Young, and stepmother, Kendra, so they could help provide support. As first-time parents, Spears says they worried about CPS using the anonymous claim to take Jasper away. She says a friend suggested she should sign over temporary guardianship to the Youngs and check into a mental health facility.
And I was like, if it's to protect Jasper, absolutely, that's what we'll do.
The Spears say they double-checked the paperwork to make sure they were not signing away any of their rights as Jasper's parents.
We were very deliberate on this is supposed to be temporary until the defects case is over with.
Spears says after 5 days at Erlanger Behavioral Health Center, she was cleared to leave, and they left the Youngs to help Jonathan's sick grandfather. Tabitha says she continued her therapy sessions, would check in with CPS regularly, and would visit Jasper at the Youngs' house. Everything was going fine, but then the Youngs changed their mind.
She said, actually, we need to talk about visitation. We think it's best if you set up supervised visitation through the courts. We do not need to be in the middle of visitation anymore. It causes too much conflict and disrupts our home too much.
On December 15, 2023, a month after Jasper was born, CPS closed their case, with paperwork stating it was not an investigation, but rather an assessment to determine if their family needed services through the agency. Feeling a wave of relief and excitement to bring their son home, the Spears went to the courthouse the next day to terminate the temporary guardianship.
We have had Jasper's room set up, have him plenty of toys, clothes, food, everything. I mean, we were ready for him.
But the Youngs blindsided them by denying the termination. The family had their first Catoosa County juvenile court hearing in February of 2024. The court ordered the Youngs to maintain temporary custody of Jasper, and the Spears were granted 8 supervised visits, also requiring Tabitha to take her medication and provide evidence she was attending therapy.
I didn't want to let him go.
Yeah. It was really nice to have the visitation, but it did not feel good to give him back.
December 18th, the judge granted the Spears overnight unsupervised visits and to have Jasper on Christmas. How happy were you?
We were excited for that.
Yeah, we were so excited.
The Spears felt like they were finally seeing the light, buying Christmas gifts and decorating the house for Jasper. But they actually wouldn't be seeing Jasper on Christmas or any day after that.
And there are no cars in their driveway.
Saturday, December 21st, they went to the Youngs' home to pick up Jasper, but what they found was an empty house.
Since I was sitting in the car, he took a picture and came back and was like, their furniture's gone.
She says they immediately called their lawyer, and an emergency court hearing was held on December 30th. The Youngs appeared over Zoom, and court documents say they were ordered to come back to Chattanooga. The Spears again attempted to pick up Jasper, and the Youngs were nowhere to be found. Another emergency hearing was held on January 6th. The Youngs were a no-show. The court now finding Tim and Kendra in contempt of court, issuing warrants and giving custody back to the Spears. The Spears say they're working with a Catoosa County Sheriff's deputy to bring Jasper back home, but there isn't much progress.
He had consulted with the FBI, and the FBI consulted with the State Department, because we don't know where they are, but all we've been given is out of the country.
The State Department telling the family because it started as a civil issue, they'll have to start litigation in whatever country the Youngs are in, leaving the Spears feeling helpless. I reached out to Kendra Young on social media and via email and was sent back this statement that says in part, quote, "Unfortunately, the documents and story you've received from my stepdaughter and her husband are incredibly incomplete." It goes on to say, quote, "Please understand that just as we have to protect Jasper, we also have to protect Tabitha. If she ever did even a portion of the things she's talked about doing to Jasper, she wouldn't be able to live with herself when she returned to her right state of mind, and we mean that quite literally. In the meantime, we are continuing to work towards a legal solution to the situation that protect our beautiful grandson." End quote. In a Facebook status, Young says they have taken extreme measures to protect Jasper, including selling their home and not sharing their location with people. We reached out to the Young's lawyer, but haven't heard back. With no word of where they've been in the last 2 months, the Spears say they spend every second worrying about Jasper's safety. And while they work each day to bring Jasper home, they want him to know one thing.
I love you, my precious boy.
In Catoosa County, Cornelia Nicholson, Local 3 News.